day, students. In this class, we are going to learn about destination framework, and there are two subunits, like 6 A's framework for tourism destinations. Its significance, importance of each element of the tourism management we are going to discuss. Then we will discuss about tourism stakeholders, dynamic nature of tourism stakeholders, and host populations. So let us move towards the topic. 6 A's framework for tourism destinations. So as we know that tourism destinations are amalgamation of different types of services and different types of stakeholders. That means there are different types of businesses which come under tourism, such as accommodation, services, public amenities, then food related services, accommodation, then different types of amusement parks are there, different types of services are there at a particular destination. So there is a requirement that how these different stakeholders may integrate to each other, or how the entire destination can be marketed, because each and every service, when they are present at a particular place, then only a destination will get famous, or we know a destination. So there are different destination marketing organizations which focus mainly upon marketing as principal management function, or sometimes they may also focus upon the management of the destination, that what kind of stakeholders will be there, what kind of services will be there, what will be the price. These things may be looked over by the DMOs. We can call them in short as DMOs. They also play some role in the product development and operations, but this is still rare and is normally left to the private sector. That means still whatever DMOs are there, they basically form the rules and regulations, and they select the stakeholders. But when it comes to the operation part at the destinations, we see that most of the private players are there. Now we move on to learn what are the exactly 6 A's framework, why we require it. So in 6 A's framework, we can see there are different points, such as first of all attractions, which are the key feature of the destination. So it may be natural, it may be man-made, artificial. It may also be built for the particular purpose, such as temples, mosques, and all other things which are built for the worshipping purpose, but it has become as an attraction in due course of time. Heritage, the places, buildings, forts, monuments which have been built in a very long duration of time, or very old, that has become heritage. Special events also may become attractions, such as some shopping festivals, some cultural festivals, or any other kind of festival, or some game or sports. It may become as attraction point. Second is accessibility. Likewise, we have accessibility, amenities, available package, activities, and ancillary services, which comes under 6 A's framework. So in accessibility, we see that the entire transportation system will come in picture, that a particular destination is connected via how many routes or how many transportation system. For example, if a destination is very well connected with road network, rail network, or air network, then chances are high that a lot of tourists may come to the particular destination. And in contrast to that, if a particular destination is connected via road transport only, no rail transport is there, no air transport is there, then people may find it difficult to reach that destination. It may not be available, it may not be able to attract a lot of tourists for the destination. So accessibility plays an important role. So all the destination marketing or management organizations will look for the accessibility of the destination. Third is amenities, that what kind of amenities are being provided at a particular destination. For example, what kind of accommodation is there. Either there are homestays, either there are rental rooms, or hotels are there. Then what class of hotels are there? 2, 3, 4, or 5-star hotels are there. How catering facilities are there at a particular accommodation unit. What kind of food can be provided? What kind of tourists can be accommodated? Then how they are selling these accommodation units, whether it is physically be sold, or it is available on online, or through any aggregator website it can be sold. and other related tourist services such as giving, offering the card service or any kind of services will come under amenities. Then available packages, that what kind of packages are available for particular destination, either it is for solo travel, for group, for family, or for newly married couple, or for adventure packages are there, pre-arranged package or intermediaries or principals. If we see in area of how we are purchasing it, either we are purchasing it directly from the tour operators or from any intermediaries or from aggregators or online travel agents, how we are purchasing. So in what form the package is available, either it is very pricey, it is cheap, or it is coming in a form of bundle. So these all things will be seen in available packages. Next is activities. So wherever destination are there, we see that most of the time destinations will be equipped with different types of activities. It may be related to sports, it may be related to entertainment or amusement. So what kind of activities are there? So if there are more number of activities at the destination, it may attract more number of tourists. If less number of activities are there, then destination may be termed as dull destination. Then ancillary services, services used by the tourists such as banks. So other than the tourism services, related services are also there, such as whenever a tourist is going to a destination, they may need ATMs, they may need banks, where they can get their money withdraw. They may need telecommunication services. They may need some kind of hospitals in cases of emergency. They may need some kind of news agents or news segments. So these are the things we can see though will come under ancillary services, the services which we require in normal daily life also. Even if we are staying at a destination, we may require those kind of services. So these are the 6 A's which are called as 6 A's framework for a destination. That means whenever we are trying to develop a destination, we need to focus basically upon these 6 A's: attractions, accessibility, amenity, available package, activities, and ancillary services. Now we are moving ahead to know a little detail about these framework. Attractions are the primary elements of destination appeal. A tourist attraction is a place of interest where people can go. It may exhibit some kind of social, cultural value. It may be of historical significance. Some type of events might have happened in the past, or some type of particular architecture may be there with the building. So it will exhibit some kind of historical importance. It may be naturally built in case of mountains, river, or maybe the springs which we are going to see, or it may be a built beauty by human beings, or amusement opportunities such as water parks or theme parks are there. So certainly there will be some point of attraction which is the core component of a 6 A's framework. Second is accessibility. As we discussed that the destination which is more accessible by the different areas, by the different modes of transport, that will be able to attract more number of tourists around the year or around the tourist season. Further, we see in the name of amenities, we can see there are different types of activities which may be required by the tourists, or which may be as a part of necessity. So all destinations need accommodation nearby, otherwise tourists will have nowhere to sleep. So every tourist which is coming to a destination, they may be looking for the accommodation unit, and most of the time they will look for the nearby accommodation, which is very much close to the destination, so that they can spend more time at a destination. Along with that, they can save some money during the transportation. This seems basic enough, but investors will only invest in accommodation infrastructure if there is sufficient economic return. So we see that although accommodation services are required by the tourists at a destination, but the investor will invest money in accommodation or the services only when there is an economic return, or there is a proper return on investment after some time. Next is available package. Tour packages are arranged by the principals and travel intermediaries. So here we can understand that principal sources are those sources who are actually working at a tourism destination, and they are creating the package, they are selling it directly to the tourist. Travel intermediaries are those people who are buying these packages from the tour operators working at a particular destination, and then they are selling it to the tourist with along with charging some extra commission. That means if we are buying a tourism package from principal service providers, we may be paying suppose 1000 rupees, and if the same package is being bought from the travel intermediaries, we may be paying them more than 1000 rupees because the same package is being purchased by the travel intermediaries from the principal service providers, and then they are being sold to the tourists. Plan and arrange a trip for individual who wants to travel or take a holiday. So there may be two point of source or point of sale. Principals agents may be there and travel intermediary agents may be there. So in both cases, the available prices of packages will be different. Now we come to the activities. As we discussed that there are a lot of activities, there are range of wide activities may be present at a destination. It may be related to entertainment, it may be related to sports, yoga, or maybe learning activity or skill enhancement activity which may be there. For example, pottery, weaving something, or designing something, painting, or learning different languages. So these kind of activity may be there at a destination in which tourists may get involved. Ancillary services are those services which we can require every time, such as public toilets, signage, retail shopping, restaurants, cafes, visitor center, bank, post offices. So these are the services which may require in our daily life also. Being at a destination also, we may require it. Now we have come to tourism stakeholders. So as we are regularly using this word that there may be different types of services and people or the business groups who are offering these kind of services at a tourism destination, they may be called as stakeholders. So a stakeholder may be a particular individual if he has put up their shop or selling some kind of tourism package or some other kind of services, or it may be a group of people. So it may be a joint venture company, a small company, it may be an individual firm. So we can call it as any group or individual who can affect or is affected by the achievement of organization's objective. So that can be called as stakeholders. So whomsoever is offering any kind of services at a tourism destination can be called as tourism stakeholders because he is taking part in economic activity at a destination and he is earning some kind of benefit. It may be collaborative effort, it may be autonomous effort if a single entrepreneur is there or a sole entrepreneurship is there at a tourism destination. Further, we see that since there are a lot of tourism stakeholders, there will be a lot of economic activity going on, and these stakeholders may be related to each other. For example, if there is an accommodation unit where a tourist is staying, he or she may be looking for a transportation services. So the accommodation unit will be related to the transportation services. In example, we can say that whenever we are staying at a hotel, if we need a car, we may ask the hotel people or hotel authority that who are the car rental services nearby. They may give us a card of the car rental services or they may offer the car rental services by themselves. So here we see there are two stakeholders. One is accommodation service provider, one is car rental service provider, and they are related to each other. So how they are interacting with each other, we see that it becomes very dynamic at a tourism destination. So all the stakeholders are related to each other and there is regular transaction, there is regular interaction between them related to the fulfillment of the services. So we can say that destinations are some of the most difficult entities to manage and market because there are a lot of stakeholders from different areas providing different types of services for to tourists. So managing and marketing the destinations will become a challenging task for the destination developers or destination marketers. And the destination experience will essentially comprise of regions, resources, and amalgams of tourism facilities and services. So here we see since there are a lot of stakeholders, different nature of stakeholders are there, and they are interacting in a different way also. Sometimes forward interaction, backward interaction will be there. There will be transferring messages to each other. So we call it as a dynamic nature of tourism stakeholders. Here we can see that how we can create a dynamic wheel of tourism stakeholders to understand better. So here we have the host population, local community will be there who is actually interacting with the tourist, and they are also interacting with the tourism enterprises or tourism businesses which are there at a destination. And then tourists are also interact using the public sector and government services. Tour operators are there which are actively participating or connecting between the public government services and the tourism enterprises, and they all have their interests, benefits and responsibilities. Host population has the interest that they can get some business out of it, they can get some employment out of the tourism destination. Tourists have the interest and benefit to visit a destination, to pay the lesser prices for the services, to gain more experience from the destination. Likewise, public sector and government have the responsibility to form the rules and regulations, to earn some kind of benefit, to maintain the socio-cultural equation, or to offer some kind of employment to the local community, to offer satisfaction to the tourists. Tour operators also have the responsibility to offer some kind of satisfactory services to the tourists, to pay their debts, to pay their taxes to the government, and to earn some kind of benefit. So each and everybody is related to each other in terms of interest, benefit, and responsibility. So it is the relationship between these tourism stakeholders is very much dynamic. Now we come to understand at a host population that whenever we are talking about tourism or tourism destination, we see that there will be some kind of people, some kind of local people, rural people present at a destination. So those people who are taking part in tourism activity, who are offering some kind of services, or who are assisting tourists or assisting the destination development manager, they are known as local community people or host population, who are actually hosting the tourists in their geographical area with the help of the local resources which is available. For example, if we are going to a rural area for rural tourism, there are people who are staying in the village. They will offer some kind of food, accommodation, and some kind of cultural assets. They will offer us that what is their culture, how they are staying, how they are living, how they are doing agricultural activity. So these kind of offerings are there. So the rural people who are offering these kind of services, they are called as host population. They may be called as local community or host community or host population. So it's a group of people who share a common identity such as geographical location, class, ethnic background. They may also share a special interest such as concern about the destruction of native flora and fauna. So certainly the local population or host community will have some kind of common interest that whenever tourists are coming to a destination, they should not harm the local animals, local plants. So there has to be a good relationship between the local host and tourists for development of the destination. If these kind of good interactions are not there between the host population and tourists who are coming to a destination, then the future of the destination will be in danger. That destination cannot last for longer time. There may be some interaction, some clashes, or some negativity between the host and the tourist. So the relationship between the host population and tourist is mainly affected by the socio-cultural impacts, which we have already discussed. That if there is any social differences, cultural differences between the tourist and the host population, there might be chances of clashes, cultural clash or social clash, and it will be harmful for a tourism destination. So most of the destination developers will look for positive interaction, good or healthy interaction between the host population and the tourists who are visiting the particular destination. So we will stop till here. In next class, we are going to discuss further about the different types of stakeholders and how they are interacting with it. Thank you very much.